I think we shall use a few minutes to go through them. I don't know if you have some questions or something you want me to try out for you. You can raise them and we see how we can go about them. There are any queries that you guys have in this Java thing that maybe you want me to try for you and get some clarification? Okay. So I think we can get started if there is nothing important that you want me to do. So I want to start from constructors. I don't know. Are you guys familiar with constructors? Are you guys familiar with constructors and what they do? Okay. I guess I can just get started if you guys don't have any questions. So the constructor, just like any other method, the constructor is also a special method. But what makes a constructor special from other methods is what makes a constructor special from other methods is that with it has no return type, unlike other constructors that have return type. So by now, I assume you guys know how to to deal with classes. So what I'm doing is I'm making a simple class where I'm going to use a constructor and other methods, and we see the difference between a constructor and other methods. Yeah, that's what I want to. That's what I want to try for you right here. So a constructor is a special method. What makes the constructor special from other methods is that the constructor has no return type. The constructor takes the same name as the class in which that constructor is declared. So I'll give you an example of what the constructor can be. I know some of you guys may already be knowing what it actually looks like, but the purpose of using a constructor is to carry out initialization, because most times you find it is okay to initialize within the main body. So what you do is you simply call a constructor from the class, and you use that constructor to do what? You'll use that constructor to initialize your attributes that you declared somewhere. So that's what I also want to do for you, and you see how it is actually going to work out. So I want to have a method. That's what I first want to have, and from the method, it is where we shall come from to know what is a constructor and how is it different from other methods. So I want to have a method that is going to maybe find the age of this student. So can call that method a public method. Yeah, can be a public method, public int. No, I can take this attribute away. I call it maybe full. So I can have a method that I'm going to use to calculate age. So it can be something of the sort, and I have my 2022 minus the variable yob for year of birth, this yob here for year of birth. So that's a method, and what I expect from that method is to find for me the age of the student here. So that's a method. What makes it a method is it has a return type, this, okay? It has a return type, and with it, it has no name. I mean, its name is nowhere associated to the what? The class name in which it's declared. So I want to also declare for your constructor here, and you see what is actually the main difference between the two. So constructor can be a public one, then it can take on the same name as the class. Yeah. So that's a constructor special method. So inside that constructor's parenthesis is where you're going to have new variables, which variables you're going to use to initialize the variables you declared up here. I don't know whether you can see this. You have this variable string, variable name and sex, fees and year back. Can just simply show you this a little bit and you see it. So in here, you're going to still have new variables that you can use to initialize what we have up there. So you can have string name, you can have string sex, something of the sort. You can have an int is, you can have an int y or b. So sometimes you can use different variables inside the constructor. That's if you want to avoid confusion, because you have name here, you have name here, you have sex here, you have sex here. So it can be up to you if you want to use different variables to avoid confusion. You can still have different variables. If at all you have the same variables, that's when you can easily use the effect of this keyword that you guys have been using somewhere. So you can use this keyword here. This keyword is used with the currently executing statement. So it can be this name for this is equal to this. You get, but where you have maybe different things, maybe here I had an NA, here I have an S, I'm assuming, and here I have a Y, just like that. I may not use this keyword. The reason for me why I always use this keyword is to differentiate. That's if I have same variables up here declared, and also in the constructor I have same variable names. So here I can simply just be calling by this, and to it I assign this. To it I assign this. So you can have my name, and to that name I assign the new variable in my constructor. Then I can have my sex, and to that sex I assign the new variable inside my constructor. And I can have fees, then inside to that fees I assign a new variable inside my constructor. And I can have y or b for year of birth. I assign to it the new variable inside my constructor. So that's it. If the things are not the same, just take it like that. That's how for me I do it. If at all I don't have the same variable names here and here, I may not use the this keyword. I might not use the same this keyword, but if I have the same, then I can decide to ignore this keyword, just like I have done right here. So let's assume we still had our same year. Let's assume we still had our same variable names. So you could simply come and say this name, you are assigning the variable name. You get the difference now. So we have this name, to which we are assigning this name. You go to the next variable. You say this. Sex. You assign to it sex. This is something. So that fees to it, you assign what? You assign fees. And you say this YOB to it you assign by OB. So you can have something of the sort. That's if in most cases you have same what? Same variable things. So yeah, that could be it. I don't know if you guys can see this. Is there any question by this time? Any question about it? So if you have just come in, we are dealing with a constructor. And what I first wanted to show guys, is the difference between a method, which is a normal method, and another method, which is a constructor. And those who were here before, you know that a constructor has no return type, because if we were having the return type, we would have an int here, or we would even have a void, something of the sort. But this is a constructor, so we don't expect a return type. This is a method, we expect a return type, int, and we don't expect the method to have the same name as the class. So for the constructor, no return type, same name as the class in which it's declared. So that's what I wanted to show guys, the difference between the two. So I don't know if you have any question by now on what I have so far covered. Yes, if there are times when you're restricted to use this keyword, it's okay, you can use it, just like I have done for you here. So if you're restricted, you have to use it. Yeah. If you're restricted to use this keyword, you have to use it if they are really asking you to use it. Because the question can ask you that define this constructor, but using this keyword. Another question can ask you define this constructor, but this time without using this keyword. So it is all okay. It is all okay. So I've showed you how to use this keyword. So this is it. It is used to work with the currently executing what statement. So this is the currently executing statement. This for this. You get. So to that statement, you assign a new statement in the constructor. So that's what I have done there. So I can go now and do the initialization, because at first I told you the purpose of our constructor is to perform initialization of the variables we declared up here. So initialization can be done in the main method, but there you first have to create an object for this method here. I mean for this class student. So how do you do that? You will simply come and create an object for that. We are used to this origin. Yeah. So this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. I don't know. Do we have an error here? Yeah. So I want you to recall we have a constructor, and at the same time we have a what? We have a class. These two are having the same name. So at object creation of that class, if you have a constructor, it is where you have to do initialization. That's why you're still seeing this error here. Okay. If at all you have a class, so we have created an object from this class student, and this is the object name. So we have to assign variables, so we have to assign values to the variables inside our constructor. And what you also have to note is that you have to assign variables in the positions in which they are declared. So if the first position is a string, you have to maintain that to be a string. So our first position is a string, and that string is a name. It is asking for a name. So you can call that Tom, no problem, comma. The next one is also a string that is asking for sex. So there you can have there you can have another string that is Tom is a male. Another one is asking for fees, I guess. Yeah, fees. Another one is asking for fees. That is an integer, so you don't have to put an integer in string quotes. And another variable is asking for the year of birth. This, so you can assume that Tom is born in 2005. So you see, we have finished to initialize. That's the first one. That's answer the first object. So that's it basically. That's it basically. So you're saying we don't have any, I don't know, is there any question by this point I can repeat from this? From this, you can raise that question, please. Yeah, so someone is asking, why is it that the constructor cannot be overridden just like other methods can be overridden? Now, this is it. This is how you should take this. Why can't you override the constructor? Why? You know, a constructor belongs to a class, and when you're overriding something, it means there's a concept of inheritance. So, assuming we had another subclass that is extending this class student here, I don't know if you, let me zoom for you. Assuming we had a subclass that is extending students, you know that a class, you know that when we are inheriting, we are taking everything except for private members of a class. Now, a constructor belongs to a class, this class here. If we have another class, let me do it practically for you and you see the difference. So we have a class D extends student. Yeah, is this it? We have that class, it is extending student. So you logically it is supposed to inherit everything in this class, but it cannot inherit a constructor. So that means a constructor is a method, yes, but it cannot be overridden in this subclass B. I don't know if that makes some sense, because with overriding or overloading, okay, overriding is having the same method in different classes, but to give those methods different implementation. Right? Give those methods different implementations. I don't know if we are really making sense. So I want you to look at this error here. You see, at the constructor D, why? We have a constructor in the first class student, but if at all you are inheriting things in the first in the superclass, you cannot have the same constructor from the superclass being extended in the what in the subclass. So if at all you want if at all you want to have a constructor in the subclass, that constructor is going to have a different name, which different name is for the class in which it is actually declared. Okay, so I have a few minutes. This meeting is about 10 minutes left. So I don't know if you have got this. If we have if we are supposed to have a constructor in this class that is extending the superclass student, that constructor is going to be given the name D for the class that is extending. It shall not have the name students. That's why a constructor simply belongs to a class in which it's declared, much as it is public. It cannot be extended. So it means it cannot be overridden. So I hope you have got that. I hope you have got that. You'll simply review the video if you have not got that. So what I wanted to do for you was initialization, and we have a few minutes left. So I don't know if we can really complete this, but we still have a few minutes. A few minutes. Yeah. A few minutes. I will simply schedule another session if it's necessary and you guys need it. Yeah. This is initialization of the constructor. So because we went through it, I just want to go quick through it and give you you can have what was that? That was so you can just simply you can just simply have an output statement that will help you output this. So I don't know if you have understood why we can't override a constructor. Yeah, I don't know if you have got that. Any question, please? Okay, I think we can, yeah, we can go on. I think we can go on. So we could just simply have an output statement that will help you, output this. Yeah, so you can have a system without time. So in that output statement, you put the obj, yeah. So you can have the object dot name. So let's try to output the name and you see if it will give us something useful. Yeah, it does, but it has given me output for, yeah, it has given me output for that. So I think you could also have something of an array of objects here. Yeah, I think that would actually work best. So I can, if I thought I was doing something multiple, then I would have an array of objects instead of what? So someone asked about the concatenation. I don't know if you're still online. I don't know if you're still there. If you asked about concatenation, now the concatenation operator is used to bring two things closer. Okay, we have just like you have your girlfriend and you're also there and you want to come closer, so you simply extend to each other. So that's what a concatenation does. So we shall have the male string being brought closer to the male, to the Tom string using this concatenation sign. It is a plus sign. So this sign, this operator is used in two ways. You can use it in arithmetics, or you can use it at concatenation, bringing two things closer. So let me try to bring the variable sex closer to the variable name. I don't know if you're getting this. Let me try to bring it closer for you and you see. I think you can see it brings two things closer. So if you want to, if you want to create that space, you can simply concatenate. You can simply concatenate a space, and yeah, you are going to concatenate that. So you can, after that, you can simply run this, and you see the space is there. Okay. So concatenation is used to bring two things closer. I don't know if you have got that. Yeah, someone is asking about a scanner. The object you created is it for the first class? Oh, yeah. The object I created is for the class, this student here. But I want you to also note that that class has a constructor. Okay. So in the first bit here, what I do is to create an object for the class student. Then here, I simply use the constructor. I don't have to again call the constructor differently. Also, I want you to recall that the constructor has the same name as the what? As the class. So it is on this same line that you're going to initialize the constructor thing. If at all I was working with an array of objects, that's when I was going to have different object arrays that initializing different what? Different variables. So that's it. Our time is fast spent. I don't know if you guys need another session still, because I thought this would go for 40 minutes, but beyond 40 minutes, you have to pay. Zoom. So I don't know, because I've not finished this. There's still a lot more we have to do. Should I send another link for something else, or so far we are good? And I hope the one who asked about concatenation has also understood what concatenation does. Yeah. So I can just finish my what my objects here. Obj fields. Like internet is obj if we run this, yeah, should give us everything that we had in our object or constructor initialization. So yeah. Polymorphism is actually override and overload. So I have actually gone through it when I was explaining for you a constructor override if it is possible. So if you know what override and overload are, that is polymorphism. So I think this session was useful. If you got this, if you have known what a constructor does, the is keyword, if you know where to apply it, and we are good to go. So if there's any other question, you can either send it on the WhatsApp group, or you can send it at the beginning of the next session. Yeah. So we are going to have another session. In that session, I'm going to cover interfaces. So if you guys are still asking about polymorphism is simply, you can use polymorphism in override and overload, because with it is doing different tasks, the same task differently. So if you know what override and overload are, then you're good to go. So I'm coming back for either interfaces or abstraction. You can give me a few minutes and I send for you a different link. So if there are others that you know they wanted to join, tell them this is we're actually doing something useful. Yeah. If you still have issues with override and overload, I'm going to send you to my YouTube. I uploaded last week's thing there. So I think we can stop here for now. Yeah.